Woohoo! I am live again, baby. Totally unexpected live, I know. Hello, 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 my little friends. Straight StreamYard today. I could not find my baby O. Baby O, baby O, where are you, baby O? I'm almost positive I bought some at the Dollar Getting Stove, but I cannot find it. And I found a fairly clean 8x10 jelly pad. Got a lot of crunchies on it. And it's okay if I'm here by myself. You catch me later. Catch me now or catch me later. I couldn't find any baby O, so I'm using refined linseed O. You want a clean plate. Hey, Rosemary, I am trying something new. Well, I try to perfect the old stuff, right? Can you hear me? Hey, Gail, can y'all hear me? Can you hear me now? Good. Good, good. I am cleaning an 8x10 jelly plate. And I couldn't find my baby O, so I'm using refined linseed oil. And we're going to jelly print with oil paint. This one smells like Rosemary Studio, so that may be the last time it was out of its tin. I had all about all the hurricane stuff, and I figured that we'll get to see it tomorrow. The zebra pattern is underneath. I'm sure y'all, well, if you haven't, I'll tell you. That's wearing me out. Oil and acrylic do not mix. So we'll see how that does. Hey, Ian. What's Mary, Bonnie, Linda? You just wipe it. Of course, and with today, I'm just gonna. It doesn't matter because, as you know, linseed oil is what is in oil. So it doesn't matter if it's a little bit there. What I have out, oh, this was a Robin McClendon video that she put live. There's a little bit of glare. She put it live, I think, yesterday. And the reason that she did it was because Arteza has come out with a line of oil paint that is reasonable, like 24 tubes for $20 or something like that. And y'all haven't seen my oils, but I've got, I think, one color from every company made. But it's ridiculous to use expensive oils on for jelly plating. So I went ahead and ordered the Arteza oils because they had a 20% off coupon and free shipping. But the reason that Robin gave for using them was that they I got another little thing. I've got paper towels clipped on lights to help get rid of glare. Anyway, because you have a color range of blue, say one darker than the next and then the next color. And that's the same reason that we like craft paint, is because you can get a color range without having to stop and mix. So I had this set of portrait oils from Jerry's Artorama, and they were inexpensive and they're very neutral. So I thought until my Arteza get here that I'll use these portrait ones. I've also got out a glass palette in case I feel like mixing. I've got my linseed oil. Get that out of the way. I've got a bucket of palette knives. And yes, you can use metal palette knives if you're careful. I've got a set of crinkledy ones. And then I've got some plastic ones. I've got a spreader one. Put this back here behind my coffee that I was still drinking. What else do I have? Oh, behind me I have some oil paints that I use for encaustic coloring. So if I need a bright color for anything, I can use that. I've got 2 brushes. She used a cheapo brush from the hardware store. You know, those chip brushes that are so cheap, the ones like we use in encaustic. But I'm set up to clean stuff like this, so it doesn't bother me to use a couple of good brushes. And I left my great big mop brush in the water overnight, which is a big no-no. Let's see. Now, what we're doing here is mimicking real monoprinting with the press. We're not doing a look like you get with acrylic paint with a bunch of stencils and stuff. And I did pick out 2 of my stencils to use if I want to, but they'll clean up easy. So, but it's not a case of 10,000 layers. It's kind of a case of one and a ghost print and you're done. So I have not done this, so we're going to play together. Okay. There is no solvent involved, just the oil. The solvent I will use to clean my brushes. And linseed oil is not too far removed from baby oil, except more expensive, of course. There are no real no-nos. So let's go. I'm just going to pick some colors. Did I say that this is from Jerry's Artorama? So if you want to get a set of neutrals, are you dried out? Well, this may not be such a good plan. We're not going to give up. There's a stick. Come out of there, you little booger. I'm going to get some white. Watch there not be a white in here. Come on, please. I wonder where my white. Oh, I know where my white is. I think. Hang on. Just right over here on the other side of the studio. You quit looking. I found it. And I have a collapsible drawing rack over here that one of our tenants left in their duplex. And I've got it over here in the corner because these oil prints will take longer to dry. But Robin says you get a similar result to what real monoprinting looks like with thicker impasto looks. And it's not something you can get with acrylic. I don't want to use a stamp. Of all the stuff that I have for mark making, this is silicone, so it will be fine. In fact, I've got deli paper here handy. I can smoosh it. Smoosh it on the plate and get a ghost print. Oops. I'm gonna put that right here. I'll have to get up occasionally and put prints up. I'm going to get out some Japanese calligraphy paper. Looks like that's been wet. And if you find that the oils are leaching through your paper, you can put another piece on it to get need to get my paint wringer tube out after this. This is some alizarin crimson. And solid white. And then with the lid. It's kind of fun just to be able to drag that paint out. Okay, it won't dry out during the afternoon. It's the same way with Renoir. He worked up until he had to have his brushes taped to his fingers. Let me get this on my screen. There we go. My only experience with printing press for this kind of stuff is Robin. I've never done it. I was a business major in university because business school was the only school that you didn't have to take the flunk out courses of Western Civ and biology. They do now. I wish oil people would start using a flip top cap. These lids just don't want to go on. This reminds me a little bit of jelly printing, or not jelly, but monoprinting with encaustic. Let's see what y'all are saying. Hey, Ashley. Let's see, I've got to catch up. No, I have not, but Royal Talons is very well respected, unless it's their student brand. And you better like to get messy. I got my apron on. Let me dig in this bin. I've got some gold wall paint. Sienna might not be a bad color to use. There's gold. Sienna. Okay, Silver, where are you? Silver. Okay. Catching up on chat. With baby oil, or I didn't have any. That's a nice thing to say. Probably a couple of days. That's why I got the that drying rack out. It's been sitting in the corner for a while because I knew it was too good to get rid of. Okay, I'm going to try to keep some semblance of color theory in my brain, which is kind of hard to do. Mangan is a beautiful color. Come on now, that lid doesn't want to go on either. Piffle. Thinking. Here's some magenta. Sometimes I mix colors using CMYK, and sometimes I do them with regular red, yellow, blue, RGB. Or CMYK. I'll get it in a minute. I only worked in the print industry for years, so. A little more oil in the Lucas paint, and that is solely imported by Jerry's Artorama. It's a German brand. That wasn't the greatest in the world, but that's okay too. There are millions of different art things to try. And almost every one that we think is so awesome was started by the Chinese and the Japanese in the 4th or 5th centuries. Acrylics, of course, weren't even invented until 40s, 50s, I believe. I'll put some of these up here. Do-da, do-da. Let's go back and use just some neutrals here. I don't know why I bought these. Because they were on sale, I guess. I got them and then compared them to the colors that I mixed, and they were almost the same. You do want to use a cheap paint because it does seem to go through a lot of them. And I don't like me to stick with Lucas and not a good gambling. Not my favorite colors. I'm looking for black. Not sure I have one. I do. I use black so very rarely. Another one hit the floor. And they're a good price point too. This is probably gonna look like baby poop. Not too bad. These are not my colors. I just want y'all to know that. So let's do a little bit of this lighter color. These paints that I'm using right now are made by Parmalba, which is an inexpensive brand here. And I thought the silver and gold would make better, excuse me, encaustic paint, and it did. Now I've got a big old mishmash that I didn't really intend to have. This is the abstracty stuff that I really am not comfortable with. Haven't done it enough to. Now see the impasto we're getting on that? Impasto means thick. You can see the ridges in the paint. That yellow in there is just icky. I see you, Bubby. I better go hang some of these up. Excuse me for a minute. I'll just be right over here. And then we'll come back after these set up just a little bit. I think we can print on these again. Okay, there's two hung up. it weren't for that drying rack, I would be in serious trouble with this. Cool. Coolio. And I didn't hang up. Another sheet of deli paper for this one. Don't want to waste any. So I would have gotten it better if I had a flat spot to lay that down. And do the same thing here. Put it on the old stencil instead of the paper. Okay, new piece of paper. Hey, Tanya. I had fun watching yours today. We're jelly printing with oil paint. Boy, I sure do hate that yellow. You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille. Getting some really good stuff for future use. These are beautiful browns for making flesh tones. Now I've got some punchinella. And get my herringbone back. There's not much in that corner. Oops. Bye. Makes yummy textures and oh, I want to take that off. It's one of these metal palette knives. I bought them because somebody else had them and I thought I needed them. I think I also need white. Be nice to do that beforehand, Miss Vicki. If you like me, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like me, give me a thumbs up. Ooh, pretty, pretty. I'm going to pick up, you can get that on there very straight, but you just have to kind of have to drop it and run. That's nice. I like that. Let's do ultramarine. It's ultramarine and alizarin make happy purple. I'm thinking here. Let's put some magenta. Hadn't it been for that damned old Western sieve, just think what I might have learned. Here's another one of those little. Cool. Look at all the impasto in there. Now, one thing that I am curious about, oil and oil paints eats through stuff like canvas, oil canvas. That's why you have a gesso coating as a barrier. Excuse me. But that may just be, better get a wet wipe. I'm getting it all over my face. It would be so nice to have a warehouse size studio. I could have encaustics out all the time. Whoops. Almost cut the tip of my finger off putting the stand together. It bleeded and bleeded long time. Anyway, where was I? Nothing wrong with using metal if you're aware of the fact that if you get rough with it and stab it into your plate, that mark will stay there forever. Doesn't mean that you can't use the plate, and it doesn't mean that you can't turn it over. But so it's just easier to tell everybody not to do it than it is to worry about those who do it and complain. Ooh, lots of goodie on that one. I want more neutrals. Kind of a ghosty. Let's see if we get anything on a ghost now that I just picked up all that stuff in the middle. Now this little stand has a 3-legged base on it, and it splits apart in the middle, and then the upper base has 4 wings on it. 3 wings. And then I've got a pants hanger, you know, those things that they have one hook at the top and then they have all these little bitty hangers underneath it, and when you turn it on its side, they're all horizontal. I have one of those on it. Right now I can hang 2 on each side. That's a pretty good ghost print. Oh, I love the smell of oil. All right, I'm going to get a couple of these thick ones and go hang them up. I hear you, bud. Let me see how these first ones are doing. Wet, wet, wet. This is interesting now. Let me show it to you. Some oil paints have more oil than others. These are translucent. I mean, it goes translucent. Now, if it holds that, that'll be really cool because that will almost disappear when you glue it down. That is nowhere near dry. Okay. My mind is blank on color. I don't think I got out the raw sienna. Yeah. Umber. I know I had a raw sienna. It's burnt, but I had a raw too. It'll turn up. Always keep a pair of pliers around, real handy. And another thing that works well is an old style nutcracker. And if that doesn't work, hot water will work. Now this is dark umber, so it should be a little bit darker than. And I'm going to use some gold. Yeah, now see, my oil setup across the room is meant to get all greasy and painty. There's the raw sienna. Told you I had it. This color is like yellow ochre, but it's transparent. And there are times when you don't want a there it is. You don't want an opaque. And that would be baby boy. Linda, you haven't met baby girl yet. She's a year and a half old, and her name is Minnie, and she's a miniature schnauzer and weighs all of 11 pounds. I hear you, Bubs. Not getting up right this second. Let's just put this whole 8.5 by 11 stencil. Shh. I'll let you out the next time I get up, okay? It's a good question. Any PVA glue would be all right. Which is all your, matte mediums and all, Elmer's and all that stuff are PVA. I have a real funny feeling that Robin just uses whatever she's got on hand. That's good. Let's pull the reverse. Is anybody besides me stingy with your materials? I'm stingy with myself using my materials. Okay, Bub, just a minute. Clean my hands off again. Randy can always tell when I didn't. I have it on every light switch in the house. Okay. Let me pull this print. Picking up a little bit of red from earlier. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Here I come. Let's see, now we've got that brown ghost. Let's just put that on this one. Colors may be too similar. Yeah, we got a little bit of it. Stay. Now I'd like to do some red. I've got alizarin. Here's vermilion. Oh boy. I tell you what, before I do that, let's do some of this brown. I did one of these lighter browns over here, and I did the burnt umber. Which way did you go? Let's use this raw sienna then. I don't care. Clean this off over here. Well, there's very little difference in there. Now, I'm going to get rid of these. Well, maybe I'll put them on up there. I like blue. And I'm going to put some white on top of that to see if we can get a visual color shift to a light blue. Put one up there. Let me see what other kind of paper I've got down here in my drawer. Here's a peach of parchment. If anybody's ever garage selling or thrift storing and you see a ream of office paper from the 60s or 70s that have cotton in them, let me know, and if it's a reasonable price, I'll buy it from you, or at least some of it. Okay, so that. Let's see what kind of a ghost we get from this one. And I'm going to start at the bottom Now we'll probably deposit some of that wet paint from this paper back onto the plate. Now that's cool. Okay, here you are. That's cool. Let's see what else we can get. A little. Just go for it. I'm going to put some cad red on here, or vermilion. This is a big old, I don't know what it is, pot holder. Put your pans on it. Got it at Tuesday morning once. It's silicone. I do hate to waste that. Over here out of the way, I'm going to put this one on top of that red. Which is on top of my MacBook Pro keyboard. Nice surface, huh? Cool. What else have we got? We could do that too. That one. Pick up a little bit anyway. Yeah, I know you're being pushed on. Charge your horses. Nice. So we got that there. I guess we're just ready to pull something. I'm going to do the parchment again. And another thing to buy if you're into jellying or alcohol ink is anytime you go to a thrift store, they'll have a packet of inkjet photo print paper, sometimes for 50 cents. And always pick those up, because it's cheaper than going to the store and buying it. Kind of looks like a Hershey's chocolate with a cherry on top. This little piece we used in the beginning, so I'm going to a little. Y'all hook up with Robin now on YouTube, because all that stuff is free. And I'll hook up with us as well on Patreon. For $5 a month, she practically gives you everything she's got, including her print. Well, I just did an extra print. I didn't mean to. Had one laid on top of the other. I hear the babies. Then I'm going to put some gold. Use this one that I just showed you that I know that light is bothering, it's the shadow from all those pieces. Let's put this one on here. And just see what we get. Yeah, it's all right. The gold is a little bit of not my favorite gold. If I was in acrylic, I would know exactly what to use. But you never know when this piece of color might be perfect for a collage. I toned it down a little bit. Looks kind of like a train wreck, but that's all right. Okay, it's time to hang. I'll be right back. More on those, more on those. Get this one out of the way. More on that one. That one, that one. Let me take this one away. Okay. Who's still here? Anybody else come in? Question. I don't think I'm missing much. Y'all let me know if I am. This is my issue with jelly printing, is that I tend to forget things I can do. Got blue all over that. That's all right. And I want the blue. And I'm going to use this little thing to mix them, sort of. Okay, so icing the cake. Now, now, brown cow. Let's do this trick again and see what happens. All right, do any of the ones I've got going up here need some blue and white? This ugly one back here. This one, not my favorite. Let's turn it this way. Be nice if you got it on the plate straight. I don't remember Robin saying anything last night about how she glues them in her journals or in her collages. That'll be something to find out. But I'm sure she'll know. She's been a professional bookbinder and printmaker. That helps a little. All of her career. Come on, don't do that to me. There, stay. And I've got one over here that's got brown and blue in it. I'm going to see if I can get an off print from these stencils. Oh yeah. I'll show you in just a minute. Didn't get so much there because I couldn't rub it on the back. This is messy. But it cleans right up with soap and water. And if you put a hand barrier cream on first, that will help. We picked up some yellow from that plate I didn't like, or that print I didn't like. And that's cool. That looks good. This is the parchment again. It about obliterated all the pattern, but that's okay. See, it picked up all those old colors under here. Now I'm going to get rid of those so my light isn't so challenged. And I'm going to take a picture of my plate. Anytime you're taking a picture of your artwork, get square over the middle of it and try to get the sides as square as you can. And now what I'm going to do is print this. I'm not going to edit or do anything to it. Okay. And then in a minute I'll go in there and get it, and I'll let the puppies in. This is the one of those. Kind of cool, picking up all those reds and golds from other pools. Nice. The reason I keep quoting Robin is because she's the originator of this stuff. I don't think I've ever had an original idea in my life for something like this. See, that's kind of pretty. Now right here in the middle where it's kind of muddy, I picked up a little bit of white. Not bad. Printer's offline. Come on, doggone it. So much for that idea. Let me go let them in and see what the problem is in here. I'll be back. You're going to like this. That's no color correction. It prints edge to edge. And that is a print. You don't get these kind of marks with acrylic. It shows A little bit over here, the impasto from the thick paint. Isn't that sweet? And you've got it in your phone if you ever need to print it again. That's what I like. Instead of holding this as a master, I can just use it. Know that I can print another one. Is that cool? Come on. Let me know. Awesomeness. Thank you, Linda. Because you cannot duplicate a print from what's on the plate, because all of this goody stuff will be on the back side of the plate. Cool. What a... Pick up some of this on this little bit of nothing. Even if I just get a little bit. I did. Because the paint is still so wet, we get cross-contamination, which just adds an element of mystery. Yeah. Mystery. Fall down in my Slim Fast. I need to take another drink of. Let's do a darker blue, like an ultramarine. I'm going to put some alizarin crimson, kind of alternating. I'm trying to remember some things that we do with acrylic. But so much of what I've been doing lately with my acrylic pulls is glazing. I'll put a little bit of white. It's like an American flag. Now I'm going to take another picture. Not that that's so outstanding, but hey, it's fun. My picture. All those little doinky icing spots. That's cool. What can I do? Unusual. Now they're ready to come in. Let's do another one. Hey, film's cheap. Told you I was going to be playing today. Don't really want you on the back of my hand. Got one of these little doohickeys. I'm not sure what it does. It's got enough of a pattern. Huh. Took a lot of paint off too. Another picture. Okay. It's enough pictures. I get into let's see. Got a piece of tie-dye paper. Coffee stain paper. It's okay. There's a lot of it left in there. That's cool. In those stripes. That's cool now. I like that. Let's see if we can pick up some more on the end of this. Awesome. And that's just bond paper. And now we've got red, white, and blue. Let's put it on this one. For our ghost print. This is fun, you guys. It's got a different look. Okay. I love that little tool. Not bad. I like it. Hey, Ashley. Okie doke. Let's put silver down on top of all this and see what's under there. I'm looking to see if something else deserves my attention as an overprint. I don't see anything. I should have gotten another piece of coffee dye. That was cool. I did a video a couple weeks ago about how I did those. Ooh, neat. You can barely see the silver. But the thing about the silver is that it has a little more, it's called dendritic printing, where you lay a piece of paper on a hard surface like a piece of acrylic or glass. And when you pull it up, you get the suction marks when the paper pulls the paint off. That's kind of pretty. More than kind of pretty, I like it. And that covers up everything too much. All right, I hear them whining. I'll be right back. Maybe pick up a couple prints on the way back. Ooh-wee. This. Is that cool? Oh my goodness. And look at the three-dimensional where the paint is so thick. And in here. I don't know about y'all, but I'm impressed. Look at all those yellows and everything coming up from other layers. Thank you, Robin. Now, let's see. Here's another one. Again, look at this. Right in here. Come on, zoom. Zoomy doomy. There we go. Come on. The minute I pull it away. It's not going to focus. These pretty pretties. Okay, it's not going to. The reds in here are a little bit duller because of all the other colors underneath. I know, the prints are awesome. Now wait till you see this last one I printed. We got some good stuff to post tonight. Oh wait, I've got two more. No. Look at this. Where I just daubed the paint and made the little doinky dots. You could see the shadows. That is awesome. I think everybody but you and me went home. No, there's Ashley. I took my glasses off because they were running down my face. $11 watching. Who are y'all? There's Lynn. And I think that was our first one. So I've got 4. No. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's 2 of that one. 4. I got 4 different ones. That is just cool. It'd be really nice if I put them in my phone in a folder or something so I could find them, wouldn't it? This poor little one still needs some help. So I'm going to see if there's anything left on this plate. Sometimes that's good though. I'm in love. Except for the mess, and I am willing to take the mess. If any of y'all have an HP printer, check their subscription ink program. It is based on, and I don't know if all their models are on it or not, but it's based on how many copies you print each month, and you pay like $5 or $10 for 100 or 200 prints or whatever you need. And they keep you in ink cartridges that will cover you when you'll have like 2 sets on the shelf, so you don't ever run out. And that $5 or $10 a month is a whole lot cheaper than spending money on cartridges every 6 weeks or so. Okay, now what we gotta do, Vicki? I'm thinking I need to go back to some of these. What goes with pink? I don't have to use these up either. Here's a real light neutral. And go with this pinky color. And use this. Trying to make this a little bit thinner. Now I'm going to use this tool again. That is so awesome. I'm going to bring it straight down. Look at that paint. This would be a place to have another jelly played out. I'm just going to save that right there. I don't think that'll make much of a picture, but I'm going to try it anyway. You never know. Then we'll get another piece of the coffee dyed paper. And here's one that I wrinkled and crinkled. had a train wreck over here. And the texture of this paper should add to it's interesting. Very interesting. And I really do want to get the bottom of that. A little. Cool. Now you can see the texture of the paper. Nice. Put that one away. Here's one that's got some of that same color in it. So I'm going to pick up a ghost with that one. I can see some spots where I didn't get all the acrylic off, which is no big deal to me. The only thing that if you were really ticky-tacky, that's going to leave a print of that texture. Have you got a jelly plate, Linda? Cool. Yeah, we're supposed to go to my mom's for dinner. My dad's birthday is Tuesday. He'll be 93. And he has more energy than I do. Good stuff. Okay, I know what. Pitiful tube. Yeah, one of those lighters. Okay, what you want? What you want? I want gold in the middle. Some blah. I'm gonna put it anyway. You gotta find the gold. There she is. How about a little black? We haven't done much black. Brush out. It's got some red, which will be fine if it comes across. Picture taking time. Got a reflection, but it's okay. Everything's okay. Make it look that I'm meant to be there. I'm gonna get another piece of that stained paper. How cool those stains are. This makes for great pages in a what looks like an antique journal. How cool. Now see, this is more of a traditional monoprint style. I'm gonna hang that up. Ooh, what a productive afternoon. Now I need an off print. I'm going to use calligraphy paper. This is what monoprinting is what Guy used. He would do a black and white monoprint, and then his secondary pulls he kept. So a lot of his paintings have a similar composition, but they're different because of that. And then he had several different of those monoprints to put pastel on. And we picked up the texture from the paper in this one. Really ought to see if I can get, so that's red. A little bit. Running out of ideas. Blue. Let's try a little more gold. Picking up some interesting texture, which is cool. Should have taken a picture. Awesome. Let's get a sheet of white paper for the cleanup print. Awesome. Good deal. Good job. Good job. Yeah, not much left. I'm going to put some of these that I have left over here that I was just saving for. And then I've got a bunch of paint on this brush. I don't like to waste paint. Oops, 2 pieces. And then I'm going to go get those other prints, and then I'm going to show you how to clean up. Not too shabby at all. Okay, let's get rid of all this. My attention span is gone. Can't believe I've been on here every day this week. That's a remarkable feat for me. Alrighty, you go get that, and I'll be right back. Ew. Really neat. It almost looks like you could feel the paint. Isn't that cool? Look at all these pretty colors in here. Ooh, even this one. Pretty cool. Who's in here? Hey, Debbie, you missed it. I'm jelly printing with oil paint. And I'm taking pictures of the plate before I print. Before I pull prints. All right, now I'm going to clean up. That will go in the turpentine. Clean up. Okay. Baby oil. And if you don't have baby oil, I'm using linseed oil, which is stupid because of the cost of it. But if you can't find your baby oil, you can do the next best thing. And then just a paper towel. Rub it in. So it just gets everything off. Yucca. Yucca, yucca. And that is all there is to it. And your plate is all clean and reconditioned and ready to go. Ta-da! I might as well get my, excuse me, since y'all are here, I mean, you know, go ahead and clean my brushes. If you use throwaway brushes, you know, like chip brushes from the hardware store, you just throw them away. Poor little artist has a bucket that's broken. Now, I know y'all don't oil paint, but this is the way I clean my brushes. I use very, very little solvent. I clean them as good as I can clean them with paper towel. No, you don't need to keep that. No. 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 And that will need to go outside. Now just swirl it to get the excess paint off, and then I'm done. If I'm going to come back to painting tomorrow, I can just dry it off and leave it. If I don't know if I'm going to come back, then I take it to the kitchen and I use Dawn dishwashing soap or Whisk laundry detergent, Murphy oil soap, anything like that will clean a brush. That's it. That's the only one I used. Give these things a wipe. This is so messy, but it's so worth it. I wasn't going to come on, Deb. There were so many other people streaming, and then I thought, well, it's getting to the point there isn't a good time not to cross somebody. If your paint draws up on your utensils like that, you can just get it off with the straight edge razor. Got that one and that one. I didn't use that one, but you can't tell. I've got some big brushes that I don't care for oil painting. They're too soft. This was one of them. Didn't use that, didn't use that. Okay, we're clean. Okay, now I'll show Deb some of what we did. It's messy and it takes a couple of days to dry. But the results are worth it because you get impasto that you don't really get in other ways. So it's just like anything else. I mean, you know, it's all different. Just depends on what you like. This is a close relation in look to a traditional monotype and printing press. So it's not trying to be what we're used to with acrylic. See the impasto from the paint? And I've got a portable drying rack over on the other side of the room, and I must have 20 from over there. So they can just stay there until they dry. They're not bothering me. I won't be in my pastel room. I need to get in there, but. And again, the beauty is in the brush marks and the thick marks. Like here on this one, when you when I pull that punchinella up, the paint remained thick in the circles. That one. This is on coffee dyed paper that I crinkled first. You can see the oil leaching out. Some oil paints have more oil than others, and these are an inexpensive brand that I was using. They're good, but they've got a lot of oil in them. Okay, so put that up there. Here's another blue one. Turn that down just a little bit. There's a pretty good lag today. If it'll focus. There we go. Come on, focus, baby. Ooh, right there, right there, right there. Yes, I have questions about running out of places to put these, and my rack is full. I have questions about the longevity of the paper. That's why oil painting has to be gessoed first, because it will eventually rot the canvas. But these are so cool. They also remind me of monoprints I get from Encaustic. And all this pattern in the red was left over on the plate from that crumpled coffee dye fabric. Here's another one. And I used the little tool this little tool, it's, I don't know where I got these, either Jerry's or one of the other places, but it actually leaves the little narrow lines and scrapes up the paint, which made it look good with the tea-dyed paper underneath it. Here's another real muted one, again on tea-dyed, coffee dyed. And I went ahead and ordered the Arteza oil line because it's like their acrylic. It's got a range of different blues and different yellows so that you don't have to worry about mixing. This one's not too bad. I used a silicone pot holder for the Greek key pattern. It's got silver oil paint in it. It's a good thing stuff comes off of MacBook Pro's glass screen. This one's neat. And of course, the colors you're seeing aren't true. These are very bright blues and the bright yellow gold, which I'm not crazy about the yellow gold, but that's what I had in oil paint in metallic. And you better plan ahead for how to dry these because they are going to take a day or two. Here's a little pull-up print that looks pretty good. Dendritic is what causes those little suction lines. I don't know where they come up with all these names, but there's those. Let's see. Another one. Kind of looks like faded jeans. I think it'll be fun to play with. See, my oils are standard artists. They're not mixed first. So I kind of had to think about, what kind of color do I want? So it'll be nice just to pick up one that's a lighter shade of blue than what you just used. This one's nice. See all this stuff right here? That'll be really cool when it dries up. I like this one a lot. I didn't like what was under it so much because it was yellows and reds, which aren't my comfort zone. Another one that's got some interesting pieces. And as Debbie knows, you don't always use them a whole sheet by itself. You look for parts and pieces that work. Here's a nice one. And you can keep overprinting on them, just like you do regular plate or your jellies. But because the paint is wet on your paper, when you lay it down, you're going to add some of the wet paint on the paper to the plate, which creates some really good happy accidents. Here's some red in there that was left over. And this one's another nice one. This got a lot of dendritics here. All those little peaks. That is so cool. I like that one. That sounds about right, Deb. I haven't painted with them yet, Debbie. I'm not too much a fan of using entry-level stuff if you do the limited palette like I do, you don't have to buy but 4 or 5 tubes. But yeah, if somebody was going to do this, especially those artisans, I got 24 tubes coming for about $20. They're not just a ton of paint in them either, but in oil painting, you don't buy tubes of paint in a row of 4 or 5 blues or 4 or 5 reds. You shop different. So that'll be nice to have. I am tickled with this. Any questions? My plate's clean. Oh, and Deb, you start with a clean plate. And get all the acrylic off that you want, and then baby oil it. And you're ready to go with the oil. And if you think about it, oil is what you use to recondition a plate. So, that's all you're doing with it. The pigment in the oil isn't any different than the pigment in the acrylic. So there's no reason why that would be dangerous. Well, Ashley, sometimes you get stuff better, you know, you know. I don't get much happy mail because I don't send happy mail. So there's that. So anyway, this is a win. And then those prints of the plate are just phenomenal. Take the photograph before you pull the print. And then you've got it in your computer or your phone. Now I could have run these through on special paper, like onion skin or something, but bond paper is perfectly fine for this kind of a thing. How pretty that is. Cool beans. All right, guys. Everybody that didn't make it to the live, I hope you watched the rerun. This was fun. I don't blame you, Debbie. I said the same thing for about 15 years, 12 years maybe. And then I tried them, and as an artist, it's a medium like no other. But I totally understand if you're not into painting. It's kind of like, do I really need to start that? Okay, guys, I'm going to clock off here. StreamYard, as usual, is awesome. It's so much easier than YouTube, and you only have to go live in one spot instead of 2 or 3. That is nice. Pop on, pop off. And unless I need a palette to show, I don't need the second cameras. Well, you know the backstory on the folks, Debbie. So, I mean, not Debbie, Linda. We'll see. I don't know if Randy's even going to go or not. We'll see. Okay. Bye, guys. I love you. Oh, God, I got to get into these prints to get to my keyboard. I'll hang these up. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. I got paint all over my top. Bad cat decision. What happened to StreamYard? Okay, Chrome. It's not on my, oh, I know. I was messing around. Come on. And hit some things that beeped. And I guess StreamYard just kept going. All right, here we go. End broadcast. Love you. Bye.